Hi, my name is Jim Felly. I'm the designer of Bemused and other games for Devious Weasel Games, and this is a new product that we're offering this year. So, should I just tell you about it?
Yeah, do you want to tell me about the game?
Sure. So, it's a bit messy right now, but the point of the game is that there are 6 virtuosos representing different artists: a dancer, painter, poet, musician, thespian, and singer. As a player, you are a muse, an eternal being that's inspiring creativity in artists. And one of these lovely proteges will be assigned to you, either randomly or through choice. So for example, you might be the painter, someone else might be the poet. You want your protege to be the absolute most highly recognized and lauded virtuoso in the world. However, every single virtuoso in the game is equally capable of channeling their muse's creativity. So you decide, well, I'm just going to tear everybody else down so that my guy will be left standing by default and therefore be the greatest.
Yeah.
So the point of the game is to take that game and you're going to be playing doubts and dreads on other players. So this might be, say, your hand, and you start with a dread card and 4 random doubts. Each turn you draw 2 random doubts, you make a play and make a discard. So as the painter, if it's your turn, you might say, you know, thespian, those lines seem a bit clunky. I don't know if you'd be able to pull them off, and put a doubt on the thespian. Each doubt card lowers a player's score, which is a default 10, by 1 point. Each dread card lowers it by 2 points. So the thespian's kind of in a bad way right now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
In addition, each virtuoso has their own special ability. So the painter can move doubts. The poet can change dreads into doubts. The musician can remove doubts, and so on. So the painter could, instead of making that play, could say, I'm going to use my ability. You activate it with your own doubt and move one of my doubts over to the musician.
Neat.
Helps me, hurts him.
Yeah.
Don't have to do that because my abilities are completely barterable. I could say,
oh, yeah, they are.
I could say, you know what, singer, I will move one of your doubts off of you if you will remove one of my dread cards with your ability from me. So that's where the wheeling and dealing actually comes into play. The other thing you can do is play a dread card anywhere you want, or if you have a pair, you can cash the pair in to take a dread card from a wall of dread and place it anywhere. Okay? So the problem with that is it lowers your hand size, because now you're not getting new cards back. So the basic flavor is that sort of laying of doubts and dreads until such time as players accumulate 5 of them. So let's say that the dancer gets the 5th card, drives the dancer insane. Now the dancer's base points are 9 instead of 10, -1 for every doubt, -2 for every dread. But on the dancer's turn, the dancer takes their hand, draws their 2 cards like normal, but since they're insane, they don't get to choose what to do.
Oh, really?
They have to shuffle their hand up, draw 2 cards at random, look at them, and choose 1 to play and 1 to discard.
Oh, that's interesting.
But in this case, oh look, it's my own ability.
Yeah.
I will play that and move the dread off of me and onto you. Therefore, now I'm sane again.
Oh, that's really cool, because it penalizes you for doing poorly, but you still get to keep playing.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or for people ganging up on you.
Yeah.
And it also is a little hand management, because as a dancer, I might want to hold a few of my own cards back to increase the probability I draw one when I go insane.
Yeah.
If you go insane and 3 or more of your cards are dreads, or if you're insane and one of your cards gets turned into a dread. So let's say I'm just insane right now, and the thespian on his turn decides to turn my doubt into a dread. Now I'm dead.
Uh-oh.
I become a phantasma. I turn in all my cards. I get no hand to play anymore. I'm done. But I'm still in the game, because now I'm haunting people. And I can still win if I can create enough dead people. So now my score is the number of phantasmas in play. I already have a point.
Oh, that's neat.
Now, you get point bonuses for fewer than 6 players, but it's a little bit tricky for the phantasmas, because on my turn during the turn rotation, I will draw a dread card from the Well of Dread, and I will place it anywhere I choose, or I will replace doubt with dread.
Sure.
The reason I do that is I want to lower everyone else's scores so that my humble little scores start to be competitive.
Yeah.
Now, the last components of the game are these things called geminas and secrets. So, a gemina is randomly dealt at the beginning of the game. The poet player would know their gemina is the dancer, but no one else does. You also have a random secret, so the poet knows that they're devoted to the dancer and will get 2 points if the dancer is sane at the end of the game. So I know I want to keep the dancer alive. Now, as long as the gemina is face down, it does nothing for me. Once the gemina turns face up, every time it turns face up, it fires off a dread card.
Cool.
Now, you can choose on your turn to deliberately turn it face up. You will take a dread card for doing so. Why would you ever do that? Well, because now I can use the dancer's ability as well as my own. I can tap into the dancer. So that means I can now use a red card to move that dread somewhere else, or use my yellow card to turn it into a doubt card.
Yeah.
Every time you go insane, your gemina flips. If it was face up, it flips face down, and you can't use the power anymore. If it's face down and turns face up because you went insane, it still fires off the dread, but this time this would fire this one off as a dancer.
This game seems really cool.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about your company, the kind of games you like to make, how old you are?
Sure. My company is Devious Weasel Games. We're a very small indie company. We have 3 games right now. Shadows of Malice, which is a very flexible, sandboxy kind of save the world game. It is currently out of print. We're considering a second printing right now, depending on demand. The second game is Zimby Mojo, which is a opportunistic game. First part of the game is completely cooperative. You have to work together to kill the cannibal king. Once the king dies, it's every tribe for themselves, because whoever gets the crown back first wins the game. So you turn on each other like rats. There's a strong element of cannibalism in it, kind of tongue-in-cheek, pardon the pun, where you can eat your own guys for more powers, but then since everything's done by mojo, and you draw mojo from your survivors, the more you do it, the weaker you get.
Okay.
So you have to build up your mojo curve. And this is our third game, Bemused. We've got a couple games in the pipeline, a variant of Bemused, which is greater and lesser houses with a few different mechanisms involved.
Okay, so sort of like Game of Thrones inspired-y kind of...
You know what? You're going to laugh at me right now, and
Yeah?
you're going to hate me. I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, there you go.
Hey man, good ideas are good.
Well, I think they are. My problem is that if everyone loves something, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Right?
Yeah, I'm that way too.
Yeah. So everyone's Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
Man, no, I can't do that.
I'll binge watch it in 2 years, when it's gone. And then a couple others in the pike that are still under wraps right now.
Sure.
So located in Indianapolis.
Awesome.
Right? And that's about it.
Great. Well, thanks for talking to us.
Thank
and
you
I
for
look
giving me
forward
the
to
pleasure of talking to you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what else you guys come up with in the near future.
Awesome.
This is great. It seems like you actually know these types of people really well.
So I do. And in fact, one of the things that we try to do in all of our games is take care to help colorblind people play the game.
Nice, because I am colorblind.
Okay, so for instance, in Shadows of Malice and in Zimby Mojo, the different colored items have symbols on them, so you can match the symbol to the color.
Sure.
In this game, we've got the colors, but we also have the symbol and we have the name, so that you can identify quickly what's going on. The other thing we did in Bemused was we took great care to make it a more inclusive game. So there are 3 males, 3 females, 6 different ethnicities, and there are some hidden Easter eggs in the game. So for example, the thespian really only takes on their life from the roles that they play, so he's kind of black and white except where the mask is giving him life.
I love it.
The painter perceives the world through their art, so her eyes are closed, but the painting's eyes are open.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
So there are little Easter eggs thrown in. So we really try to give everyone a bit more feeling of inclusion and being a part of the game rather than just throwing out standard tropes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is there, so you have the musician, the thespian. Is there a collectible game developer placard?
No, not yet. But I am debating a second game, codenamed now Beguiled, which will have 6 different virtuosos with some slightly different mechanisms. So you could play it alone or combine it with this game.
Oh, interesting.
So that would bring in the showman, the orator, the sculptor, things, and then you're getting into messing with each other's hands and geminas and things like that.
Nice.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for your time, dude.
Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a great con.